Football is awesome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Roots. I'm your host, Justin Thomas. Do me a huge favor before we jump into the video. Like the video if you can, share the video with your friends if you can, and do me a huge favor, subscribe if you can. Appreciate all the love I could get over here. I'll take anything at this point, so thank you so much. Wow, what a great video. I'm super stoked to do this video. Today I'm going to be previewing Chiefs vs. Bills. Super excited. This is why we love football. January football. We got the AFC, NFC Championship games going off. These are the times of years that just get me pumped to be a football fan, and so glad football's an American sport that we all get to enjoy. So, gosh, I'm just so excited. And anyway, let's jump into it. So Chiefs Bills. Wait, I forgot to say it. Let's talk some football. Chiefs Bills. Spagnuolo versus Allen and Brady, baby. How exciting is that? These teams get to go at it. I think for the fourth time in the postseason. Oh no, maybe fifth time in the postseason. I can't remember. I think this will be fourth. Yeah, fourth. The Chiefs are 0-3 in the postseason, so these teams are going back at it again. Super excited for this. What more can we ask for? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, two probably future Hall of Famers in the already. So guys, we're going to see in Canton, Ohio soon. Just a classic rivalry. People are going to talk about these bouts, these battles 10 years from now, just because of how awesome they are and the legacy Patrick Mahomes has built. And gosh, what a great game. Bills, let's just cut to it. Bills have scored 27 plus in the last 11 to 13 meaningful games. That's a stat. That's a big one. So, I just want to go into it thinking, I think America wants to see the Chiefs lose. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I love good football. I love fundamentally sound football. So it kind of sucks sometimes, because like I know the Chiefs get hated on and I know they're really good, but I also love good football. And I think the Chiefs play very good football. As much as I hate to admit it, it's true. I'm not going to hide behind it. Like, Chiefs play good football. Patrick Mahomes is definitely a talented guy. So no, I'm super excited to watch this game and kind of see what unfolds. Let's take it back to week 11. Both of these teams played each other week 11. Buffalo ended up winning 30-21. And it was kind of at the end of the game, the Buffalo, stuck that dagger in the throat, ended it, kind of put the game on ice at that point. And it's usually these games are a lot closer. So it was kind of interesting to see, maybe Buffalo really is a league above the Chiefs, but no one's sitting there putting money on, putting money against the Chiefs, I should say. I just think this is going to be a classic, physical football game with good plays. And I think it's going to be a good game. I can't see a world where one of these teams folds over on the other. But, who knows? The Bills have been playing really good football. Chiefs have been playing good defense. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it just seems like Kansas City's winning strategy lately has been like, keep it close, keep it close, keep it close. Hand it to 15. Here, Patrick, do your thing, and then he goes and wins the football game, right? That's just kind of how the Chiefs have operated. But I think with the Bills this time, I think they're going to have a way bigger time. Let's not forget, Bills are second most in points per game right now, right behind, or in the league in 2024. Excuse me. So they're right behind the Lions. They're scoring like 30.5, I think, per game, which is a huge amount. That's a huge amount. So the Bills offense is cooking on all cylinders. But on the contrary, on the opposite side of the ball, Kansas City, has had the fourth fewest points per game allowed. So Kansas City's right there at the top when it comes to defense, and they're really, really strong. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how, those two offensive side dominant teams, or defensive sided Chiefs and offensive sided Bills actually end up doing. So, and in Kansas City's defense has held their last 6 opponents under 20 points, which is nothing to slouch over. If you really think about it, that's a big deal, because if the Bills are, typically scoring 30, but the Chiefs have held their last 6 under 20, that means their defense is working. The question is, though, can the Chiefs offense keep up with the Bills, and can they ultimately keep, stay in tow without letting Josh Allen take off? But who knows? Maybe it'll be the opposite. Can the Bills stay in tow? Can one of these teams keep each other honest and keep it a close game? That's what's really, I think, it's going to come down to. Josh Allen was the least sacked quarterback in 2024. I think he had like 1 by the Ravens. I was reading an interesting stat. Per PFF, I was reading that the Bills line offensive line is like ranked like top 5. I mean, talk about unsung heroes that no one talks about. I don't hear much about the Bills offensive line. I think I heard one announcer talking about it at one game day, but I mean, shout out to the Bills O line. I think Josh Allen's been well protected this year. I mean, the Bills have ran the ball, relatively speaking, all year pretty well. I know last week it was kind of a slower week. It was kind of like a death by a million cuts. I think they were under 3 yards per carry. They ran the ball like 30 times, but Cook still had like 80 something yards. And I think, you know, so I mean, it worked out. I think Josh Allen had a touchdown too, so that's not surprising. But so yeah, I mean, maybe this week they can kind of continue it. But anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to the Bills O line. I mean, they can win this game, and I know the Chiefs have such a good defense and up front with Chris Jones, but I don't know, they've been something I noticed too. They've been moving Chris Jones around a lot. Like a lot of times you see him in the D tackle, but he's been hitting ends, he's been hitting tackles, he's been doing stunts. I mean, and not only that, Steve Spagnuolo, I think what makes him so unique is he does a lot of zero blitzes. And for those who don't know what a zero blitz is, a zero blitz means they're blitzing more people than you have linemen or guard, people to stop for, right? So if I have five down linemen, they blitz six, that's a zero blitz. That means someone has a direct shot at your quarterback, right? So, and Spagnola does that with stunts and a lot of nickel and corner blitzes, right? So can the Bills offensive line stop those? And if they can, and give Josh Allen, he puts on a cape a little bit, I think the Bills really have a shot here. So, like I said, least sacked. But, having said that, when they do move Chris Jones around, they are pretty creative with it. So, can the Bills recognize the stunts? Can they recognize the blitzes? I mean, it's coming with Spagnuolo. I think the Chiefs are like fourth highest blitz rate, or I think it's less than that. I think it's like or higher than that, second highest blitz rate. So, it's coming. On the opposite side of the ball for the Chiefs, I know they have their weak spot is that left tackle Tooney. I know in the media, in film, he's kind of the highlight. I've been hearing people talk about him all year and the struggles that Patrick Mahomes has had getting comfortable on his backside. So yeah, that left tackle position is a huge issue for the Chiefs. I'm sure they've addressed it. I'm sure the Bills plan on attacking it with their D line. Their D line played pretty well against the Ravens. I think they only had one bag though. It's a bunch of tackles for loss though. So they kept Derrick Henry wrapped up for the most part. He still had a breakout game. They just kept Derrick Henry out of the big plays. They didn't let him just run away with the game. So I guess that's good. But anyway, and then another thing that's, not surprising given the problems Tooney's had at the left tackle spot, KC hasn't scored more than 30 points all year. They haven't had a 31-point game all year long, and the Bills are doing that every game. So it'll be interesting to see, like I said, if KC's offense can keep up with the Bills' offense. I know the KC defense is going to, they're going to give a good fight, and they might play well against the Bills. But if the Bills end up still, even with the struggles, end up scoring 25, 30 points, can KC's offense keep up with that and also defend it? So that'll be interesting to see. Let's kind of go back to last week. I noticed the tight end stat for last week. Buffalo gave up a ton of yards to the Ravens tight end. I think Likely had like 80 and a touchdown. Mark Andrews had like, I don't think he had a touchdown, but he had a cross across the middle. And then in the end zone, he obviously at the end of the game, he dropped the 2-point conversion, and that was it. Still think he's a hell of a player. Still think he could provide a great deal of service to the Ravens, and it just sucks the way it ended. But yeah, so the Buffalo defense did not play tight ends well, and of course that leads me right into the guy Dayton Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. He's insane. He comes off a crazy down year in stats, but if for some reason he's got that switch where he just turns it on in the postseason. I mean, he just flicks it and he's gone. So yeah, great game last week, like 115, 117 yards like that. Touchdown when Patrick Mahomes was going down was pretty sweet. So yeah, I think they'll end up putting, it'll be interesting to see if they kind of designate Matt Milano to kind of shadow just Travis Kelce, or if they'll have like a nickel do it. The Bills defense has always got to have someone on Travis Kelce, because if you don't, it could be a really long evening for you. And that's kind of Patrick Mahomes' favorite target, other than Xavier Worthy right now. And kind of runs me into my next note that I made is the Chiefs receivers. I mean, what the fuck's going on there? I think DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Hollywood Brown. I think like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it was like they had like it was like 4 targets and no receptions. What? The only one who had receptions was Xavier Worthy, and he had 4 for like 40 or 60 yards or something. It was by no means impressive or special. It was so weird. So yeah, the Chiefs passing game is just weak without Kelsey and Worthy right now. Nothing's really happening. All the guys I listed, Worthy, or not Worthy, excuse me. All the guys I listed, Hollywood Brown, D Hop, and Juju Smith-Schuster, they're all guys who in the past have had 1,000-yard seasons. So it's kind of fucking crazy that we're getting 4 targets and 0 receptions. I mean, that's definitely something unheard of. So it'll be interesting to see if they can utilize people other than Worthy and other than Kelsey to do their bidding for him. So I think last week when it came to Kansas City, let's not forget they still gave up like 270 yards and a touchdown or two to CJ. They really blamed their safeties for that big game because Nico Collins on the back end, like those safeties were playing off. The safeties were getting beat, but I think if the Bills spread the field with Coleman, and what's cool, what makes the Bills I think unique and have a cool a better making them harder to defend is the fact that they have so many receivers, and they have a standout receiver in Shakir, but they distribute the ball so well to so many different people. They could hit Coleman, they could hit Curtis Samuel, they could hit Amari Cooper, right? They have they could hit to Cook, they could hit Davis, so they have like this kind of, they can spread the ball well without drawing, I think, too much attention on one receiver. Maybe Shakir will get that attention at first, but if they start throwing all these different receivers in, it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to kind of pick one, or they just switch their defensive plan altogether, put more people in the box to just try and put pressure on Josh Allen. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how they play that, but yeah, don't know. I think Casey's defense just needs to be careful with James Cook. I don't think he's an enamored Saquon or Derrick Henry kind of threat, but I do think he could, like I said earlier, death by a million cuts kind of a strategy. 3, 4, 5 yard carries, 3, 4, 5 yard carries, 3, 4, and then throw Josh Allen on a reverse carry, and then throw it deep once. I mean, I just think if they're not careful, they'll let the trio of running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks to kind of start. Like I said, the Bills can spread the wealth really well. So just be careful with Cook. Don't let him get too excited. But another interesting fact as I start to close this out, KC is 9-0 at Arrowhead in 2024. 9-0. They have not lost at home in 2024. So granted, I think the Bills are the team to do it. If anyone else made the championship game, I wouldn't feel as good about it. I think the Bills are rigged to do it. I think the Bills have to fight off the refs and the flags. If the Bills can make, I think the Ravens game, they had 1 penalty. They played textbook football, but the Chiefs are also very good at that, playing textbook football, fundamental football, not making mistakes, not doing the little things to screw up a game because they know how big they are. So both of these teams, I think, are rigged for this game. I think they're ready for this game, and it should make it a good one. Yeah, like I said, Bills had 1 flag last week. I mean, Josh Allen looked so composed. He looked mature. The moment didn't look too big. Whereas I think in the past and other years, sometimes that camera pans to him and he's got that deer in headlights face. But man, he looked so posed. He looked poised. He looked so comfortable. And I just think this is going to be a good one. And kind of what I said earlier, KC's 4-4 overall versus the Bills, but in the playoffs, Bills lead 3-0. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. That's what it's going to come down to. I hope it goes, it'll become 1-3. So let's kind of go lead into my prediction. My prediction for this game, I got 28-20 Bills. Let's go Buffalo. Super excited for this one. They always say it's a dumb thing to do to bet against the Chiefs, and I know it is, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think this is really the year the Bills can get over the hump. I watched the pregame preview earlier, and it's looking like I think out of 10, it was 4 Chiefs, 6 Bills. So pretty interesting. I'm going Bills, 28-20 Bills. Let's go. Super excited. And as always, let's talk some football. Love you.